Tadpole Smitty back at Tadpole Smitty's garage. Today we're finishing up a series of videos that I've done on the 2-speed Patterson install on my TerraTrike Charge. If you'll remember, if you've watched my shows, you'll know that I had a problem with the PAS sensor. And guess what? I fixed it. With the help of my brother and AI off of Google, we figured out what was wrong with the PAS sensor. So with nothing better to do, let's go for a ride. I got this PAS sensor that I want to talk to you about. So, you know, we all know that this thing's been misfiring, and I conjectured that maybe the idler pulley was pulling too fast. I want you to look at how small these magnets are in these PAS sensor. Right there, those two little dots. That's how small they are. These are magnets. That's how they're staying on the washer. There's 12 of them inside this thing. So what I ended up doing was I took a Dremel and popped this out. The center of that comes out. And I removed 6 of these little magnets. Every other one, from 12 down to 6. And then we took the TerraTrike for a test ride. It is way better because now it's sensing that it's turning slower, half the speed as it normally was on this pulley. So 12 was too many, 6 is better. So, you know, the PAS sensor issue that I had when I put the Patterson transmission on the front of my TerraTrike. For that PAS sensor to run true to its design, in the bottom bracket, this is the part that that PAS sensor fits into. So what I did is I took a washer and fit it down inside there, drilled that hole out to the right size, the 8mm, and I'm going to tack weld this in here, and then I'm going to cut it down level to the back of that washer. That way we can use this to push against the PAS sensor to make it run true, because what's happening is the PAS sensor is kind of wobbly in there. It's meant to drive into this. So yeah, let's do that. So I've got that tack welded in there. Did alright. I got one little glob over here. I need to figure out how to clean that out. Anyway, I just tacked it in 3 spots. Now I've got to shave the back of this off flush to that washer. Or damn close. Yeah, let's do that. Prototype. Okay, I got that cut. Now I've just got to grind that flat. So this is the spacer that I'm coming up with. See how this works. So that should push on the PAS sensor. The PAS sensor will fit into the grooves. So the PAS sensor should fit into each one of these little slots right here. Should slide right in there. The nut will be on the back side, putting pressure this way. So the nut will come in just like this. And then I can tighten this down. See how that nut goes in there? That bolt goes through the PAS all the way through the idler. And then you can adjust this way to push it that way, hopefully. The trick is, will this fit in there? We'll have to find out. All right, we got to take this off and see if I can plug this into the back of the PAS sensor right in here on the back side. Hopefully I have enough room. I think I will. I'm not sure. The part of the sensor, it's stationary, and this matches up with that and goes right in there like that. Can't do it as one hand. There it goes. See how it went on there? Now it's locked into place. So what I'm hoping is we can slide this, and the hole in the center of this is the same size as this bolt. So I'm hoping we can get that. Didn't even realize the dang stereo was on in the background. Probably going to get hit up by copyright crap. I don't see how. I don't make money off my YouTube channel. I don't do it for money. I do it to encourage disabled veterans, and I do it hopefully to get you people off the couch and start riding these trikes and getting in shape. So hopefully this thing goes back together, because I pulled it apart. Yeah, boy. Okay. So what this does is it puts pressure back here, which preloads this. See how this is moving? That takes that movement out and sets that gap. And they said it has to be 3 millimeters. Well, it's wobbling now because I didn't have anything to put pressure on it. So by putting this in here, I'm simulating. I'd usually do this with a socket, but I want to see. Socket blinds you sometimes. You can't see what's going on underneath. So in this aspect, because it's a prototype, I want to see what's going on. So I'm not going to use the socket. Bolt going through. I left the bolt going through the whole idler arm long on purpose because I've been adjusting it and playing with it and working out the kinks. So once I get this fitted and it's what I like, I will cut this bolt down out of here, you know, 1/4 of an inch out. So this isn't sticking out here like this. What I do detect is I got a wobble, but it's working as designed. This piece that I stuck inside the back of the PAS sensor is keeping it tight to the shaft. I need to load this up a little better. So you take the, you set the load on the bearing by tightening this up right here. That's good there. Remember that this is independent. This is independent of these. The pinch is off this bolt right here. This bolt and this cap screw to the Allen head out here is independent of the pinching force between this bolt and that nut back here. So you got the pinch here, and then you got the pinch here. And I set the tension on that bearing, or the load on the bearing, by setting this lock, nylock right here. So right now I have no wobble on my idler. And then I just got to wire tie this wire off so it'll stay in place. Put the chain back on and take it for a test ride. Hopefully I get there with this thing, folks. C'est la vie, say the old folks. I don't know. I don't know. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, and you're along for the ride. All right, folks. Let's take a look at what I've done. You can see the piece I added in here. Pushes up inside the PAS sensor just like it does on the crank. And I set the tension from the tension out here on this bolt. And I just threw this on for good measure, a lock nut. It's an eye lock, but I put a lock nut on it as well. So this keeps the sensor from wobbling. So that's what she looks like. As always, folks, I'm always tinkering. I'm always doing stuff on my trikes. Seats have always been a big deal for me, the comfort of them, because I'm getting old and my ass hurts sometimes. I spend a lot of time in the saddle. So this is the new addition to the TerraTrike. They're gel pads. There's 2 pieces. Got these at Ross. This bottom one was $12. This back one was $14. They have straps that hold them on. It's very comfortable now. Much better comfort for me. What's nice about the gel pads is they squish down really thin, but they provide quite a bit of support. The bottom one's a Goodyear. I think the back one is too. So that's my addition. I'm very happy with them. I've put about, I don't know, 30, 40 miles on the seat now. It's much better. Better than the TerraTrike Wedge. So if you're looking to improve the comfort of your trikes on rides, it's worth a try. Go to Ross, ROSS, Ross. That's a store that's throughout New Mexico. I don't know if they're around the nation. I know they're in California. So go try out these gel pads. They're for sitting at your desk or in your car. So Anyway, happy with them. So folks, I'll take it for more rides and keep practicing and trying to make it better, but I'm really happy with the way it's running now. I'm going to cut the end of the bolt off. I think I'm pretty set on this is going to be the length of the bolt. So I'll cut the end of this bolt down a little bit to make it look a little better. Maybe touch it up with some paint. And that's it. That's my sensor. She's working good. Spoiler alert, folks. This is an improvement on my trike beyond any improvement I've ever done. This makes this TerraTrike Charge rideable because it's so heavy. The trike is probably over 70 pounds. So what I've done by putting a 2-speed on it with an overdrive, I have improved my ability to ride my trike immensely. So let's go for a ride and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, let's do this. Got them clipped in now. I really like the clips, by the way. So the Promovec's on level 1. We're down here on the Santa Fe Trail, my favorite ride. Now I want you all, just my mirrors, I want you all to listen to my motor. Okay, what I did, a couple of things. Let's talk about everything, recap everything that happened. I put the 2-speed Patterson overdrive on my TerraTrike, me and Rotator Allen. Took us about 45 minutes, 35 to 45 minutes. That includes shooting the bull and talking and cutting a cable and fitting it. And mostly me filming and fetching tools for him and trying to film him install. Right after we did that, we couldn't mount the PAS sensor. So if you watch my shows, you'll see how we developed a idler pulley with a square drive to simulate what the crankset square drive was doing. And we accomplished that task pretty quickly. Within a day or two, I built it based on some ideas that Rotator had and thinking about the TerraTrike idler pulley. We developed my square drive and I built it. First prototype, it was kind of wobbly. I had to build a second prototype. And then the PAS sensor was misfiring because of numerous issues. So I fixed those. I had to use the bottom crank BB set tool that removes that bottom bracket piece to hold the PAS sensor in place. I cut one down and welded a washer in it and mounted it to my idler pulley to put pressure to maintain a situation that is set up sort of like the bottom crank, putting pressure on that PAS sensor because it can only have 3 millimeters of movement or it won't work. So we did that. Still had a misfire. Then we conjectured with one another and thinking about it, and I consulted AI on Google, and we all came up with the same theory, is that the crankset the chain movement over the crankset, especially on a 52 chain ring, is going much slower than the chain going over the idler at the same speed. So early on I had conjectured that maybe I needed to go down to less magnets on the PAS sensor, because the Promovec is, I just can't order a PAS sensor because the Promovec has got 5 wires into the controller. Nobody knows what they do because they're locked down with proprietary crap. So I had to use a Promovec PAS sensor. And so what we did was we decided to take 6 magnets out. I ordered an extra PAS sensor in case I screwed one up. Those PAS sensor magnets are tiny. They're less than 1/32 of an inch across. They look like tiny, tiny little beads. And you'll see it in this video. Got them stuck to a washer so I could hold them and show you. So I used a Dremel tool with a disc on it and cut out the top of the plastic in the PAS sensor and removed 6 of those. Every other PAS sensor came out to 6. Installed it. Voila. The trike is actually better now than it has ever been, including stock from the factory. The e-assist comes on smoother and is much better reactive for me. It's a better ride. And then the other thing I did is I turned the controller down to eco mode off of speed mode, so it comes on a little slower there too. But the combination of stuff we did in this show, this finishes up the Patterson install and the PAS sensor debacle and all my work that I did. Yeah, it was an overall, it was about a 2-week process. Not full-time, just off and on. But I want you to enjoy this ride, and this trike is way more rideable now. I can actually ride this trike. So I'm going to turn the e-assist off, go down to level 0. The motor spools off perfectly now. And now I'm in my own power. I'll be using my own gears right here. I'm climbing a hill, and I'm just going to shift down. And by doing so, with the Patterson at a 28 tooth direct drive, I can pull this 70-pound bike up this hill with my own leg power. When I get tired, which I will use the throttle right here, this throttle. You just simply turn it. Rest a little bit, let the throttle go off, back on my own leg power. And that's how you build endurance. Not letting the trike do everything for you. You got to work out, folks. You can't let these e-assist bikes do all the riding for you. You have to use them to your benefit. Don't get lazy on these things. Push yourself every day. Try to do a little more yourself and enjoy it. If you get too tired, just grab the throttle. Anyway, folks, the battery life is almost doubled. The battery life is almost doubled right here. That little meter, I'm at 80%. So when I come back, I'll be at 70%. So most of my going up ride is going to use about 10% each time I go, approximately anywhere from 8 to 10 miles. The way I'm riding now, with my own leg power and using the Patterson. I just went to direct. I was in, now it's a little easy for me because I'm going uphill, but I've got a 28 tooth now. I'm still not using the assist. So anyway, folks, watch the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll keep developing. The next project I'm going to do on this, I'm working with Jared out at Whiz Wheels, is I think I'm going to install BB7 brakes on this trike. I do not like the BB5s. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know why TerraTrike even uses them. The price point cannot be that much difference. Saving every nickel and dime. We've had nothing but trouble with the BB5s. They don't want to line up. They're just inferior brakes, I believe. The Avid BB5. So now we're going to the Avid BB7s. I think they're 90 bucks, 87 bucks a side. So you're looking at 160 plus shipping to get everything I need. I have a few questions for Jared to make sure they work with the fenders, because the stays for the fenders are attached to the brakes. I complained about that to TerraTrike. I don't like their fender design. The way these stays are attached to the brakes on the inboards. I like my cat trike and my fat Tad. You can pull the tire off the front without pulling the fender apart. So I've asked them to redesign their front fenders. Maybe they already have. From Whiz Wheels responds to me, the maker of TerraTrike. Once they respond to me, I will be ordering those BB7s to install on the TerraTrike. I want a better brake. So I'm going to summarize real quick. The TerraTrike Charge is an outstanding entry-level e-assist trike. I've told you all that money spent, TerraTrike's probably the best deal out there. The EcoTad, I don't like it as much. It's a decent trike, but it's not my favorite. My mom has one. It's not as refined. It's kind of a cheaper trike, right? Not running it down, it's just what it is. TerraTrike, a little better ride. Bang for buck, the TerraTrike Charge is the best buy out there, I believe. It's got drawbacks. It's got its limitations, and I solved it with my modifications with the Patterson 2-speed overdrive right there. Had to use my motor. I'm getting tired. I've gone almost 8 miles talking to you, climbing the whole time. It's all uphill one way, all the way to the rail yard. Second drawback with the TerraTrike is the Promovec system is great. As much as I like it, it's a proprietary system lockdown. For this type of guy, this cowboy, I like to work on my own stuff. I like to do things like put a Patterson 2-speed drive on the front of my trike, and the Promovec makes it to where you're locked down into their world. They don't own the Promovec anymore. I do. I bought it. I bought the TerraTrike. It's mine. I'll do what I want when I want. I don't like proprietary crap because of that reason. Granted, 90% of you guys don't care because you're never going to work on your trike like I do. You don't do anything. You take it to the shop and they do it all. But I'm not that guy. Patterson, or I could have been a double chain ring on the front and had a derailleur and left the square drive and the PAS sensor from the Promovec up on the crank where it belongs, and probably did just fine. And I consulted Whiz Wheels about that, and they told me what parts I needed. But I came across this Patterson, and I love engineering like that, old stuff like that. It's been around forever, and that's just who I am. I just love engineering. I love what Sam Patterson built, the planetary 2-speed drive. It weighs 3 pounds. I get it. It's heavier than a derailleur. There's drag in there. But it's what I wanted to do. And I did it. And we had to invent a PAS sensor and all that drawback. It's because the Promovec is proprietary. It drove me to do that. It shouldn't have been that hard. It's a $12 part that caused all this work. I overcame it, but it was with effort. Now I've created a trike that's premier to what it was. Let me tell you something. If you buy a Charge with a 52 chainring on the front and your battery goes dead and you've got to ride it home deadhead and you got to climb hills, you better be stronger than me. Because your trike, if you put anything on your trike, it's going to be close to 60, 65 pounds. It's already 57 when you buy it. If you put anything on it, like bags and tools and water and tubes, you're going to get over 65 pounds quick. Good luck pushing a 52 chainring up on a single trike going uphill for any length of time. It's going to kick your butt. But if you go down to a 28 tooth, like I did on the 2-speed Patterson, I'm able to go into a direct on a little gear and pull this 70-pound bike through these hills with effort, but I can do it. And I actually like this trike. This is one of my favorite trikes now. I feel guilty because I love my cat trike, but this is a neat setup. All of these single chainring e-assist trikes that are out there, anything with a mid-drive is a single chainring, folks. You ain't riding one of those things home if your battery goes dead. You ain't gonna be able to do it. You're gonna get tired. So I wanted gearing, and right now I'm sitting at 16 gears on this TerraTrike, where it came stock with 8, and I got an overdrive and a direct. So I think Whiz Wheels needs to at least put double chain rings with the derailleur on the front of all these e-assist boost kits, with a 28 tooth primary chain ring and a 45. If you can do that, I don't know if you can make that jump or not, but I think you can, from a 28 maybe to a 36 or a 38, or maybe go to a 32 45 double. See, the planetary drive, I'm able to go to 28-45. That's a huge jump for a set of gears on a chain on a derailleur system. I don't know if you can achieve that. That's a big jump. That's a real big jump from one chain ring to another. I think the chain would have a hard time, the derailleur would have a hard time gathering up enough chain to climb to the next tallest gear or go down. I think you would have a tendency to kick your chain for that kind of, from a 28 to a 45. The Patterson can do that by the ratio, the 60% overdrive. So the next thing would be to put a triple on the front of the TerraTrike Charge, and then you can go 24, 32, 45, or some kind of variation of there. I think they do like 2 tooth increments in gearing on chain rings. But anyway, I guess I'm through blabbing. I built a superior trike than what I bought. I did not dislike the trike. It's just too heavy to not have enough gears. What that forces you into is using the assist, because you can't ride it without it. Period. I've tried it. It'll kick your butt. It's too heavy. Anyway, that's just my $2, 2 cents. Anyway, folks, I'd like to thank you for watching. I think we've proven the concept that I can put a 2-speed drive on a TerraTrike Charge and make the PAS sensor work and achieve my dream of a trike that I could ride with or without e-assist. The TerraTrike is a better ride now. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. This is Tadpole Smitty. I'll continue my adventures. Till next time, like and subscribe. Tell your friends about me. Trust me, it helps.